Hello out there, everyone in YouTube or podcast land. This is John Keating, episode 236 of the Basement Tapes. A prime example of research I have never done on cards that I happen to own. So this is the 1972 Fleer Famous Feats set. And by Feats, I don't mean Rex Ryan type stuff. I'm talking about Feats of perhaps baseball brilliance. In this case, Fleer again, poking that bear, maybe trying to get their licenses or one license, being denied at every turn by Topps, so they continue to go back in time, which for many collectors, the history of baseball is probably or possibly more important than the present of baseball. And I am one of those folks that even back then, when I started collecting, I tried to learn about players from beyond. A lot of it had to do with the 76 top set with those all-time Sporting News all-time greats. But anyway, I've never wanted to stop learning about the past of baseball. And oddly enough, this morning I was reading for probably the 12th time the Wikipedia page of Cornelius McGillicuddy. So away I go. 72 Fleer famous feats. Again, I have 13 of these bad boys. Let's look at 19 of these I have. Let's look at some of the deets here, as they say. There's 40 total, $3.30 average value, $132 total value. A set of these between $60 and $120. The Fleer set of 40 cards features the artwork of sports artist R.G. Laughlin. The set is titled Baseball's Famous Feats. The cards are numbered both on the front and back. The backs are printed in light blue on white cardstock. The cards measure approximately 2.5 by 4 inches. This set was licensed by Major League Baseball, not the players, but by the MLNB. Let's look at the top three, according to Beckett OPG. It says here that the Babe Ruth card number 20 is the big one. Certainly is. I would look at these cards and come to the same conclusion without any kind of interference from Beckett. So Lou Gehrig, number 2, that's card number 5, is the second position. Ty Cobb, card number 15, rounds out your top three. Let's go over to whatchamacallits over there, TCDB. Boy, it'd be disappointing if they didn't have a lot going on with it. There we go. Well, there's the Fleer official Major League patches. So this is disappointing here. Let me see if I can find in real time some sort of there we go. It says 1973 here. So Beckett's telling us it's 72. TCDB is telling us it's 73. These cards were inserted into packs of Fleer MLB real cloth baseball patches as stabilizers and are not mentioned on the pack itself. So that's interesting there. We're selling cloth patches, but stabilizing those wax packs are these beautiful pieces of card art and brilliance. Man, this would suck. I went over to American Airlines real quick. The teams represented here are the Baltimore Orioles, Boston Braves, Boston Red Sox, Brooklyn Robins, Chicago Cubs, Chicago White Sox, Cincinnati Reds, Cleveland Spiders, Detroit Tigers, New York Giants, New York Highlanders, New York Yankees, Philadelphia Athletics, Philadelphia Phillies, Pittsburgh Pirates, St. Louis Cardinals, and the original Washington Senators. Packaging, not a lot of information there. Let's look at the gallery. Yes, there we go. Okay. So let's run through these. Joe McGinty from the New York Giants leads us off. Iron Man McGinty won 3 doubleheaders in a month, 1903. Rogers Hornsby is card number 2. Christy Mathewson in that brilliant New York Giants all-black uni, card number 3. Dazzy Vance with the Brooklyn Brooklyn Robins, card number 4. Lou Gehrig, card number 5, talks about his 23 Grand Slam homer runs. Jim Bottomley drove in 12 runs in a game in 1924. Card number 7, Johnny Evers. Johnny Evers stole home 21 times. Card 8, Walter Johnson. Walter Johnson won 38 1-0 games. Hack Wilson, also known as Chicago's original Lewis Robert, had 1930. He had 190 runs batted in, and that is featured on this card. Wilbert Robinson. Wilbert Robinson made 7 hits in a 9-inning game in 1892. Card number 11 is Cyrus. Cy Young. Denton True Young is what his real name is. I don't know where I came with the old Cyrus thing. Maybe it's my achy breaky heart that made me think of that. Rudy York is card number 12. Rudy York hit 18 homers in a month. Let's talk about that. Front of these cards, again, a Laughlin caricature, baseball's famous feats at the top. This card says number 12 of 40 cards, official MLB. It's got the MLB logo on the bottom there. Looks great. August 1937, Rudy York hit 18 homers. Baseball's famous feats, it says on the back in blue ink. Rudy York, the big 230 pounds first baseman, crashed 18 home runs in August of 1937, a 1-month mark that has withstood all assaults since. Amazingly, it was his first year in the big time. Rudy played most of his career with the Tigers, his top year being 1943 when he topped the circuit in homers, RBIs, and slugging average. The part Indian played in 2 World Series with Detroit and ended up in a third with the Red Sox, hitting 3 series homers. He once hit 2 Grand Slammers in one game. The right-handed power hitter came up as a catcher, tried the outfield and wound up as an excellent first baseman. Number 12 of 40 cards by R.G. Laughlin. Copyright 1972. Fleer Corp. Philippa 19141. Grover Cleveland Alexander hurls 16 shutouts in 1916. It's card number 13. Fred Tony and Hippo Vaughn pitched a double no-hitter in 1917. Ty Cobb won 12 batting titles in 13 years. Card number 16, Jimmy Fox. Jimmy Fox batted in 100 or more runs 13 straight years. Now, how could you get Jimmy Fox's name spelled wrong on the front, yet spelled correctly on the back a few times over? I'm looking at least 1, 2, 3 times, 4 times they got it right on the back. They got it wrong on the front. So Dutch Leonard, Hub Leonard, recorded the lowest earned run average in 1914, 1.01. Card 18, Connie Mac's favorite player, Eddie Collins. Eddie Collins stole 6 bases in a game twice in 1912. Joe Oshker and Leon Cadore are the Boston Braves / Brooklyn Robins. Joe and Leon pitched a 26-inning tie in 1920. And wow, look at those Boston Braves uniforms. Takes my breath away. Card 20, the big one. It's Bambino. Babe Ruth hit 60 home runs in one season in 1927. So Babe Ruth plus that particular feat, F-E-A-T, means that card is the big boy. Hannes Wagner led the NL in batting 8 times. That's card 21. 22, Red Rolfe. Red Rolfe scored in 18 straight games in 1939. Ed Walsh, card 23, pitched 464 innings in 1908. There are players that people already have in the Hall of Fame, starting pitchers already in the Hall of Fame in their minds that don't have 464 career innings pitched. Kiss my butt, modern people. Paul Wainer made 200 hits in the season 8 times. That's card 24. Mel Ott walked 1,708 times. Card 26, Eddie Plank. Eddie Plank pitched 70 shutouts. Sam Crawford, card 27, hit 312 triples. That's a record that will possibly never be broken. Nap Lajoie hit 422 in 1901. That's card 28. Card 29, Ed Rulbach pitched a doubleheader shutout in 1908. Pinky Higgins made 12 straight hits in 1938 for the Boston Red Sox. Bill Clem, he's an umpire. He umpired in the majors for 36 years from 1905 to 1940. Tris Speaker, card number 32. Tris Speaker hit 793 doubles. That's a record. Hank Gowdy with the Boston Braves. Hank Gowdy hit 545 in the 1914 World Series. Lefty O'Doul made 254 hits in 1929. It's card 34. Lloyd Wainer went 77 games without striking out in 1941. Chuck Klein scored 158 runs in 1930. Deacon Felipe for the Pirates pitched 5 complete games in a World Series, 1903. Ed Delahunty with the Washington Senators, but more likely with the Philadelphia Phillies, won batting crowns in both of those for both of those teams in two different leagues. Jack Chesborough won 41 games in 1904. That's card 39. And finally, card 40, Wee Willie Keeler hit safely in 44 straight NL games in 1897. So that is supposed to be a throwaway and a pack stiffener for the cloth stickers. But of course, it is a wonderfully scrumptious set to collect all on its own. It's the 1973 or 72, depending on your database. Fleer official Major League patches, famous Feats, an insert in itself for a product that would probably be considered an insert as well. The Fleer patches that were not. They were the headliner there. So anyway, a very unique Basement Tapes number 236 from John Keating, that guy over there. That 70s Card Show. Thanks for tuning in.